Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be continuing some coverage of this storm system that's currently dumping snow on the western parts of the United States, in particular the Sierra Nevadas and the Cascades, but then that's going to move into the Rockies. Then we're going to get a little bit of snow in the plains, not much, nothing there kind of to deem any winter storm warnings. But then once we get into the south, we could see some dangerous travel impacts down here if everything kind of works out the way that it's looking right now. So we're going to take a little bit of a look into that. But if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. And let's get right on into it. So you can see we have a lot of winter storm warnings in the Cascades right now, especially in Washington. And Washington has seen up to 50 inches of snow so far, with 2 to 3 feet to come. So, and I think a little bit less in term for the Sierra Nevadas, probably closer to a half foot to a foot remaining. But then you move into the Rockies, is going to kind of take a little bit of a, it's going to tone down a little bit, and then we start to kind of focus our eyes on this area right in here. Now let's go to the NAM model here and see what it is showing. It doesn't have this part yet, but it does have most of this part leading up to it. So you see the NAM is showing some pretty serious snowfall, but that all kind of dies down. You can see that things get a little bit more quiet going into the Rockies. Then this low pressure moves to the south, and you can see very minimal snow, a little bit of rain, but really it's not kind of fully formed yet. Then we get a low pressure forms south of Louisiana, brings some snow into Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri. That threat continues, and then we start to see snow in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and that would move into Virginia. Now we're watching this storm system. It could ride up the coastline, possibly give the Northeast a little bit of snow. Wouldn't be anything serious, maybe an inch or two, but this will have some sort of impact on the Northeast anyway. If it goes off the coast, it'll pull in some colder air. If it impacts them, of course you're going to get those snowfall totals, but we kind of have to look into this whole area over here for some potential impacts. Now the GFS right now has been kind of going back and forth with having this kind of be a little bit more serious and a little bit more faint. And you can see right now it has a lot more rain here, and then it has a little bit of heavy snow in parts of North Carolina, but then it kind of weakens out and doesn't have any impacts on the Northeast. Then that sets up for the next system, which could have snow in Louisiana, and then that comes all the way up. Earlier, we had a major nor'easter come out of this, and you can see it's definitely powerful. You can see a little bit of some heavier snow totals. So if this starts to shift to the west, which it's been kind of going back and forth, again, that same area over here that saw some pretty decent impacts from Winter Storm Gale, and that includes areas such as New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and DC. Boston would probably be left out of it just because of this storm system being more on the wet, heavy snow side than the light, fluffy snow. But there could be up to a half foot of snow here if everything sets up right. So we gotta watch that storm system too. And then it has another one trying to form in here too. So this kind of goes back to the same point. The nor'easters are continuing to show up on these models. And if we go to the European model here, that would be the case yet again. So we have this storm system, kind of has everything going to plan with the NAM. And then you can see that it comes in here, and this one fully just goes off the coast, very far out here, not even a chance. Maybe some impacts in Maine. Then we have the European is showing significant snowfall for Texas out of the next system, then Louisiana, through Mississippi, and then you can see that it kind of just has this going offshore. If that stays a little bit closer to the coast, we're still dealing with the same thing, maybe just a little bit less snow totals because the European model has this as a little bit of a weaker system. But this was just a very quick update in terms of the weather news right now. This is a real big topic, is southern snowmakers and nor'easters. That's going to be the trend here for, I believe, the next month. Then we get into like mid-February, and I think that we'll see more of the plains blizzards, your Great Lakes snowstorms, and then your interior northeast storms, because that's usually what happens in February, and then maybe in March you get back to those coastal systems. Just like we had a lot of these plains blizzards, Great Lakes, and interior northeast storms in the end of December after Winter Storm Gale. Remember, we had those 2 straight nor'easters with Flynn and Gale, and then we started just to see a bunch of interior storms and none of the coastal lows. But we definitely got to watch a few systems here in terms of snowfall in the south and the northeast impacts, if there are any. But we will continue to update every day, so stay tuned. But that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.